Welcome back to another Maple Mile episode. I'm your host, Salvador Escamilla. And if you don't remember me, I was a guest on here on episode 4, a month or two back or so, something like that. And the reason I am hosting today is because right now Maple Mile, the producers, they are on vacation, and I was just in the area. And since today is a little different, we are interviewing Jesse Bontrager.
Yep, that's me. This episode's going to be a little bit different. First, we'll do a fan question. This is from Tony Miller. He asked, what are the worst foods to eat right before a run? You want to go first?
I don't know if this isn't a food, but coffee. Easily coffee. Middle of a run, you're going to be in the bathroom, no matter what. That happens even outside of running. So what I've been trying to do lately is adapt myself to being able to eat before, during, more before and during a run. So I'll run to a place, I'll eat something small, and gradually I'll eat more and more, so that I can just run to the restaurant, run to the function, whatever.
There you go. For me, I'd say, so Tony was talking about Taco Bell, and I was like, well, that would probably be pretty bad. But for me personally, chocolate and peanut butter, I'll be like, oh, spoon of peanut butter, some energy, but no, I burp the entire time. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for all these foods. So yeah.
Anyway, since we are interviewing Jesse, the one thing we're going to be going over is how he got into running, what motivates him, and all that stuff. So without further ado, Jesse.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we got to stay in track with what we usually do. How's training going?
Training, it's a little bit rocky, but it's overall pretty good. I just had the workout yesterday, which was 5 by mile, and it was supposed to be at 5:10 pace, but as Sal knows, because he paced me, it was not 5:10. It was probably average 5:20, something like that. But it is what it is. It was a hard effort, first one back from my break. So yeah, I'm feeling good. Pretty sore, but still feeling motivated. So, yeah.
Very good. And as for my training, I'm starting to build back up. I have a half marathon in Chicago in February. I'm going to be building up for, and then February, March. Team Vibe is doing the Shamrock Shuffle. You can follow at Team Vibe. I don't remember what our at is. We can add it on here. That'd be sick. But stay tuned for that, and then however many other races over the year. But yeah, I've been pushing off my training a little more. Hard to get into workouts now that it's starting to get dark with all this daylight we saved.
Yeah, seriously. Yep.
But yeah. So, Jesse, starting from the very beginning, how'd you get into running? Did you grow up in a running household, a sports household, if anything?
Yeah. So I would say, starting off, I was put into soccer probably preschool, kindergarten, and throughout those years, those early years, I was out there because I could run. I didn't have great ball handling skills, or I could kick straight at the keeper, but I wasn't great other than I could just be out there and run all the time. And we do, I don't know, in schools we have the mile test and stuff like that for our fitness test, and I always look forward to those days. Just go run a mile and then be like, hey, can I do another one real quick? And it'd just be fun. But I really wasn't in athletics. I wasn't in track specifically. It was more I just enjoyed running, and I was a soccer guy. I was also playing basketball at the time. When I actually started track was 7th grade year, when my friends tried to get me to do it. And I was like, you know what, we'll try it. We'll see. So I did my first 3-mile run in basketball shoes that year in the winter, and I was like, you know what, this could be fun, but I need to get running shoes. But yeah, that's kind of how it started.
Right.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, you did basketball in high school in line with track and field, right?
Yeah. So once I started getting more into cross country, and I quit soccer. Going into 8th grade year, I still was doing basketball in the winter because for at least Bethany, we didn't have an indoor season, so I needed something to do. Most of my friends were in basketball as well, so I was like, okay, I'll run in cross country, then I'll get in basketball, do that for 5-6 months, and then do track in the spring. And I quit basketball for my senior year, partially because I had mono, but also because I wanted to focus on running. And yeah, I was growing further apart from basketball. But yeah, it was definitely eventful going from sport to sport, because distance running is a whole lot different than basketball. Because you think that, oh man, since I'm running so much, I'll be conditioned. But then you go up and down once, and you're like, oh man, this is different.
You can't do the fast turns anymore.
No.
Your agility gets lost with all the endurance running, right?
And like I'd always shoot so flat too. Like if you roll the tapes, I'll be shooting flat. There's no arch in my shot.
Right.
But yeah, I probably wouldn't take it back to, like, if I could just run all the way throughout high school and not do basketball, I probably wouldn't do that, just because of the memories and how it's kind of shaped me. But yeah.
And your high school was really small, right? Very few people. Was there? Well, for one, there probably was a lot of overlap of basketball people also doing track. So there were just your friends following you back and forth.
Yeah.
But then two, with track and especially cross country, it's such a small team.
Yeah.
Like, how did that play anything into how you enjoyed the sport or where competitiveness was?
Well, so at Northridge, I really enjoyed running just because I could be with my friends. I had like a natural talent for it. I didn't really have to work too hard to like be competitive with my friends. But once I got to Bethany, it was more interesting and a little bit harder at the start, because I do most of my runs alone, or I just do it with Sam. Shout out Sam. But it more shaped me into appreciating running for what it is instead of just the people around it. And so I was able to more do like longer runs by myself without any music. I think it's helped me with my focus and with my patience in some ways. And it's also, in a way, like shaped my career, because I didn't really know what I wanted to do going into Bethany. But then once I developed more of a relationship with running, more of a love for running, I wanted to have more people like enjoy running, and if they got injured, I wanted to help them. And so that's where like the physical therapy part plays in. Like I was growing an appreciation for the health of individuals running. So yeah. You're
skipping ahead. We're not at college yet. We're still going on over your high school part.
Yeah, that's my bad.
Well, you mentioned Northridge. I honestly forgot about Northridge at all. What year did you transfer?
Yeah, so 8th grade year I visited Bethany, and I really wasn't struggling too much at Northridge, but my parents just wanted me to test it out, and I really enjoyed it. Just like the smaller student to teacher ratio, I could get to know my teachers more. So I transferred there from 8th grade year to start freshman year. So
okay.
Yep.
And then, so now we're gonna start dipping into the college part.
Okay.
When did your coach Rustin and I start reaching out to you? Did you have any other schools in mind, or was Goshen College like your first?
Yeah. So during my transition, my dad also went to Goshen. He went from Goshen Health to Goshen College. So I also knew in the back of my mind I got that like financial discount, so that was kind of helpful.
Does it discount for alumni?
No, like he works at Goshen College now. So yeah, so it's like, I don't know, 75%, which is crazy. But I started getting to know Rustin a little bit when Sam started getting recruited, and that was my sophomore year, his junior year. So I'd started seeing him around, talk to him a little bit. But then I had my mind pretty set junior year. Like I probably could have signed junior year, but I got recruited by St. Francis. I took a visit there, and there's one, I think it was Manchester as well. I wasn't really interested in them. I was pretty set on Goshen.
Okay, Manchester down like toward the Indy area, right?
I think that one's Marion. I was thinking, it's another school probably 45 minutes away.
No, I think it's accredited athletic training. Oh, whatever.
I don't know. Yeah. There's also a late recruit from like ACU, Arizona Christian University. I thought, that was kind of cool just because it's out of state. But no, I was pretty set on Goshen. Yeah.
Okay. I remember, I think it was probably my sophomore, junior year. I remember when we started recruiting Sam.
Oh, yeah.
I remember a little later, you would hop in on the runs here and there.
Yep.
I remember that was like what, 5 years back or something like that.
I do remember, so like, for those of you that know, Goshen is only 1 mile from Bethany, and there's a path that goes through both of them. And so we'd see the college guys go through, and I'd be like, man, I want to be with them so bad. So yeah, Sal was a main character in that. But,
Yeah.
yeah. And I so badly wanted to be part of that group because it would have combined both the passion I had from like running at Bethany and the social group at Northridge. Those two kind of parts would be combined at Goshen.
Mhm. Very nice.
Which I found was true, but yeah. But,
Well, now,
yeah.
on to the college part. What was the admission process like? What picking your major? You talked a little bit about what inspired you to do that. Maybe go a little more into that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it was pretty easy. Like I did one visit with a couple other teammates, or one teammate and one guy that went to Marion. And it was fun. Like we visited around campus, got to talk with Rustin or Coach Nice, and we got to sit down in the conference room and look over like people's training, and I just found that so intriguing. He had different groups, probably 3 or 4 per team, just focused on what they need to do instead of just the whole team. So that was another thing that really got me interested into Goshen. And I don't know, admission, like the admitting part was pretty easy. I mean, it's like pretty standard for a college student. Just
Yeah, sure.
yeah, I paid my deposit and
Yeah.
I did my student orientation.
Yeah, but you did know pretty early on that you were going to go into athletic training therapy, like
Yeah, exercise science.
exercise science,
Yeah.
and then later on. But yeah,
Mhm. Yeah. After really developing a love for physical therapy, about junior year, I was pretty set on exercise science. I think I do have kind of an appreciation for marketing, but I don't know. We'll see.
well, you can apply those marketing skills to the Maple Mile podcast.
For sure. Yep. Yeah. So.
So now you are sophomore.
Hmm?
Yeah, sophomore.
Oh no, freshman now. But
You're a freshman now.
yeah.
Okay. Beginning of freshman year, let's start with summer training. I know your coach would give you a summer training plan, walk you through it. How do you think that compared to your high school training? Was there any like big adaptation periods you had to go
Yeah.
through? Anything that took you by surprise?
Well, so first of all, there was contact with the coach at the start of the year, so I knew what I was doing. There's a spreadsheet at the start of the year, so I knew how many miles to run per week. So there's just a lot more organization. There's a lot more intention with college training compared to my previous years. So yeah, I think just starting in the summer, I knew what I had to do, like run 8 miles a week, and which was a lot more than the previous year of me running probably 4 to 6 each day,
Yeah, right.
going from 8 to 12 miles a day. So
Right.
yeah.
So then you probably opened up the spreadsheet. Just, what?
Yeah,
What would that be, like 60 miles a week off the jump?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy because I remember just texting like Rustin being like, okay, am I doing this right? Like, I really did not want to get injured my first year.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good build. The way that Goshen does it, they do 3 up, 1 down. So 3 weeks you build up by about 5 miles per week and then go down to week 2, right? I think. But,
I don't remember.
Yeah, you don't remember?
Yeah,
so-
probably.
yeah, that's how we build. So, yeah, that was fun during the summer, getting out every day and just enjoying it. But
Right.
yeah,
And then, so summer ends. You've built up as much base as you can. You get on campus for the first time. How did that feel? Now you're surrounded by your teammates, surrounded by all the other athletes that are
Yeah.
college students that are
Yeah.
18, 19, 20, 21 years old. Any idea about that?
it was a little bit weird because I only knew these guys from Strava, or like about half of them. So I'd be like, well, especially Isaiah. I was like, dang, that's Isaiah Bider.
The Isaiah.
Yeah, and like our first workout or our first like run together was a long run, but it turns into a race. And I remember going 3 miles in, we were at like 6:20 pace. I was like, oh, I can't do this. Oh man, like I looked at Toby, another one of our teammates, and we just like looked at each other and then stopped, went 7 flat, and we're like, okay, we did like 12, 13 miles.
Right.
But that was crazy because I just remember the intensity of like starting this new season and everyone's just like super ready to go.
Everyone's trying to show their
Yeah.
worth. Or
Yeah, I think Drew and Ethan went sub 5 at the end of that, and I was like, wow, they're in a different spot right now. But
right.
but yeah, that That was fun because everyone's just like chuckling and laughing like the first 2 miles, and then it just got
Everyone
silent.
just focuses in.
Yeah, and I remember like, Kevin was in the back of the pack with me, and then like I'd fall off, and he'd look at me and be like, "Come on," like,
Rock
and
on.
I'll be like, "No, dude, like I can't do this.
Yeah.
I still got like 10 miles to go. I can't do this right now." But
How about outside the track? These people from different backgrounds, some from different states.
yeah,
Think about that.
I think we just like got along so well. Like I don't understand it. Like Isaiah and I, like one of our first conversations was, we got to start a podcast. And we're like, we barely know each other, but we feel like we know each other so well. And there wasn't one person that would like not really that was sticking out. Like everyone was together, and it didn't matter your pace or really anything. Like everyone just was wanting to include everyone, I guess.
Right.
But
Have you
yeah.
ever heard that meme or whatever? That's like, whenever two guys have a good conversation, we gotta start a podcast. Anytime two guys have a deep conversation, the
Really?
next step is start a podcast. So that's
funny.
you guys.
Yeah, well, we're both like super running, like big running nerds, and we listen to another podcast called the Coffee Club Podcast, which, yeah, shout out Coffee Club, which are these professional runners from OAC, On Athletics Club, and they do something similar to this. So we're like, yo, we should do it too, because we thought we had content to do.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, off the jump, preseason, you guys are having fun. You go on the
Chain of
trip?
Lakes.
The Chain of Lakes trip. You have the tempo, having fun camping out in the wilderness. Come back. Your first race is like a week or two after you come back from that trip. Any thoughts? Because then it's gonna be your first 8K. No, it's gonna be a 6K.
Yeah, 6K at Valpo.
Okay.
Yeah, it was weird because it was my first collegiate race. We were racing teams like Purdue and Valpo and Notre Dame, which
Those are
was pretty
scary
cool.
dudes. Yeah.
Yeah, like these guys, like I see Isaiah Sturry out there. I'm like, that guy I saw on TV at Nationals last year. Like,
Yeah.
that's pretty crazy. But it was like immediately our team was in last place. Like we started very far away from the chute, and so it was definitely a different vibe of like, oh wow, this is intense. But I remember running with Jordan most of the time until the end where he kicked past me for the last 2K. But yeah, it was weird. I don't know. Like it was super hot too, so that didn't really help. But I remember talking to Rustin, and I'm like, I don't really know what I'm gonna run. Like I could probably hold a 5:40 pace. It'll probably be between 5:30 and 5:40. He's like, okay, go for 21 minutes flat. So I'm like, okay, we'll do that. And I ended up running 20:58, so I was pretty much exactly where I was thinking.
There you go.
But not a ton of people raced how they wanted to, because I mean the plan there was to mess up, to try to do something, to go out of your comfort zone. And I feel like I should have done that a little bit more, but I also have never raced that distance, so I didn't really know what was going to happen going into that.
Right. It's just a 5K plus a little bit. Just race for the 5K, figure it out in the last K.
Yeah, that's what I should have done. But I was like, oh, I still got 2K. Like I was trying to do all my math, and
Yeah.
I didn't work out very well.
No, dude, anything more than 5K, I don't know what the math is. It's got to be rounded to a 5K, a 10K. Half marathon, I'd say, like, pace of...
For sure.
I don't know how to pace half marathon. It's just that last 0.1 throw me off. It's like a whole minute.
Yeah.
So, if I remember correctly, there was 2 weeks after that 6K at Valpo that you did have your first 8K at...
Wayne State, so near Detroit, I think. Yeah. That one I don't think is a very good race, but that's because it was just so long of me getting in my head. I raced fine. I ran like, I don't know, 28, 49, something high. But their course is an enormous hill and 4 laps of it. So you could think of it like a mile, like, oh, I'm going to push the 3rd lap. But it was an experience because it was a lot longer of a race than I've ever really done on grass and stuff. So that was just like a no expectation race again.
Right.
But I ran okay. I learned some things, like I need to surge and I need to keep my head up and push a little bit harder.
Right.
Yeah. Because I'm going to be able to finish. But
Well, tell me how it was. You're running the race. You come through the 5K mark. whatever time they say for a 5K, and you're like, oh, I gotta do three more Ks.
Well, yeah. So like, I don't know, it was a pretty hot day as well. So I came through the first lap. I'm like, dang, I got 6K to go, and over 3 miles, and I should not think about that. Like, oh man, I gotta keep doing this. It's more like I gotta think, mind like a goldfish, just keep resetting myself, keep looking at different targets to get to. But yeah, it was I don't really remember at a time because it was kind of jumbled up for like specifics in that race. But yeah.
Okay, so then the rest of your college season plays out, takes you to conference. Where do you feel like you improved? Not specifically time wise, from the beginning of college semester to the end of the college semester. Like mentally, where did you think you learned some things out? Where like you build up on what you already knew, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I'll do a little bit of a race timeline, but we did Purdue Fort Wayne a couple of weeks after that, and I was told like go out uncomfortably slow and then just push. And what happened was I ran pretty much the same pace all the way throughout, and that I felt a whole lot better with. Like, oh, I'm not gonna go out hard. I'm just gonna like keep it conservative and then know that I have stuff left in my tank. And I ran like 28 flat, 28:02, something like that. I don't know. And then at Great Lakes, I got into the 10th position on the team, so I got to run in like the varsity race or
the blue race.
Yeah, or it was like maroon race. I don't remember.
Who knows?
But I remember starting, looking around me, and I was dead last. And I was like, what is this? And we went out, I don't know, I was like a 5:18, and my usual pace is, I don't know, 5:30s. So yeah, that was just definitely a change of a mindset of I have to go out hard and just trust it. Because what happened was I ran a 5:18, and then I ran 5:30s the rest of the time. And I PR'd like a ton.
Right.
So yeah, I was really happy with going out hard then. And so I was like, you know what? I really don't know what I'm going to do for a conference. So like, I did a lot of talk with Rustin and Sam, like, cause we're around the same pace of what we're going to do. And, Sam was like, you know what, we're going to go out like relatively chill the first 4K. Cause it's a fast first mile at Taylor, our conference course. And then we're just going to push. And that's kind of what happened. And we both moved up around the same time. He started a K before, but we ended up 5 seconds apart, and I felt pretty happy with that too.
Okay.
Yeah, my goal for that race was just finish and like smile at the end and know that I worked hard.
Oh, there you go.
And I was pretty happy with that race as well. So yeah.
Okay. Very nice. So that brings us to the end of the season, kind of to where we are now.
Yeah.
If we were to take like a more overall look of not just your college, but including your high school and including your high school. Well, for one, who would you say like were your biggest motivators throughout that whole time?
Who? Like personally?
Yeah.
This is a big shout out for Sam, because if I didn't have him at Bethany, I really don't know what I would have done. Like we were competing. Like it was funny. Like every other season, one of us would be faster than the other. So like my freshman year in cross, I'd beat him every race, and then my freshman year in track, he beat me every race. It was like alternating every year. It's crazy. But if I didn't have that competitor, I don't know where, like if I would have stuck with running, I probably would have gone to soccer again.
Well, what was it? So from Bethany being a small school, you two were kind of like the standouts from Bethany, right? So most of the time during races, it'd be you two, like way up in front, and then the rest of your teammates are good back.
Yeah. And I'm so grateful Sam is at Goshen too, because now we're in the same training group, and we still have we still like sprint at the last drop. We're like, I can't let him beat me. So
You're Sam glazing right now.
Yeah, well, he deserves it, man. Like he's been with me through all the ups and downs.
Yeah. Can you give us two more?
Two more. All right. I'll say JP. Or you say Juanito, right?
Well, to say his business, his public name, his business name.
Yeah, Juan Perez. He was my junior track coach, and he just brought more like of the science and more knowledge to the sport for me. So I really enjoyed that kind of like that newer. I don't know, like I really enjoyed Benji Hurst's training before that, but Juan gave it a different kind of outlook, and I just really enjoyed that. And what's another person?
Here, well,
Yeah.
why you think, for those who don't know, Juan Perez was my teammate as well. He graduated a year before me, but I loved running with him. You know, I would talk so many times, even now that post-collegiate, we frequently talk about training, talk about the science. And yeah, he's very incredibly knowledgeable about all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Training, not even just running, but just health in general. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you have your third?
Well, I wish I had my third. I feel like there's a lot of guys. Like, I raced a ton with Drew Hogan, and even though I never was close to beating him, he was always that constant presence of domination. And so like that, I remember one race, Sam and I were like, man, when should we spike up? And this is like 20 minutes before the race. We saw Drew with spikes on, and we're like, okay, we're going to do it pretty early now. I've never said that on record, but...
Now he knows.
Yeah, but like Rustin, he's been there for the last 2-3 years, and I can always walk into his office and talk. He'll always comfort me if I got questions. Sal, you're starting to get up there too. Like
I wasn't before.
I just am getting to know you more. Like we're rock climbing together some, and you're getting me to push myself in paces and just in life in general, I guess. Yeah, I'm lucky enough to have a lot of supportive people around me. So yeah.
And well, yeah. Did you ever have like a consistent like quote or like a mindset all throughout it, like whether it be just have fun, have fun, or I got to be the best, or anything like that? But yeah.
Oh man, I feel like it's more changing to have fun and keep it joyful. But I feel like, I mean, this is, when you said that, I was thinking about my basketball experience and me always changing my shooting form. Like I never stuck to something.
Right.
And so honestly, I think I'd change it throughout the year. Like, I think like the Nike just do it, like just get it done, or like act like a robot, just do the business.
They're gonna copyright strike you for saying that, for thinking it.
No, I cited them. I said Nike.
Okay.
But yeah, I used to have that on my wallpaper, like just do it. But
How are they gonna get you for that? As a wallpaper?
By Nike. It was a Nike.
A Nike wallpaper by Nike. You say from the Nike website.
Yeah, listen.
Gotta cover your bases. Gotta cover your bases.
Yeah, but nothing sticks out to me a ton. I mean, running with you, like when you have the Seek Discomfort tattoo, that's something I think about sometimes. Like, I should be feeling not comfortable in this position, especially during races. It's like you're seeing the home stretch and you're like, I gotta hurt, like I have to hurt. Yeah, it shouldn't feel good.
Right.
Yeah. So
then, that for the overall part, we mostly got that, but now let's talk a little bit more future. Any specific? Do you have any like specific goals for your collegiate career? Maybe even after, if you thought that far. But, or whether it be like specific events, specific milestones, anything like that.
Yeah. So this was a smart decision, but I feel like at Bethany I wasn't like fully developed into like my peak, which is good. So I really don't know like event-wise what I like. I don't really have time goals. It would be pretty cool to be like pretty low fours in the mile. But we'll see. I'm at 4:39 right now. I think I can crack 4:30 in this either indoor or outdoor season.
In the mile or 15?
Mile in the indoor.
15
it'd be 15 outdoor, right?
They got the 15 indoor too.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see. And then I really love the 5K. So if I can go as fast as I can in the 5K, like I'm at 16:15 now, so breaking 16 would be awesome this year.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll see. Yeah, I'm not sure yet. Okay. But cool. I just would really love to stay healthy, stay strong, stay motivated. I'd love to run a marathon post-collegiate, but
everyone does. Everyone falls into it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'd love to also do coaching as well. Like if I have a PT practice and also coach, that would be sweet.
Do you know what level?
I'd like to start at least at the high school level. I want to try to make it fun, and I don't know. We'll see. I haven't thought too much about it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Very good. Should we? Do you think? What time are we at?
Yeah. What's our time, Isaac? 30. We're at 30.
Okay,
That's pretty
nice.
good.
So, should we start our conclusion part? I think I've asked most of the questions that
Yeah,
people
that's
might
pretty
be
much
curious
it.
about.
You've been great interviewer.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I'm curious. I love talking to you, and we love hearing your story.
For sure.
So now our last thing. We were kind of up in the air about what top 5 we would do.
Mm-hmm.
We decided, since it's a bonus episode, we don't gotta do things kosher as we happen.
We're gonna live unorthodox.
Yep. Describe your number 1 favorite race. Doesn't have to be time favorite. Doesn't have to be anything, but just the race you had the most fun with that you remember forever.
So, I'm gonna do my honorable. Well, I'll do my honorable mention after. But my favorite race of all time was my junior year. So I was getting faster and faster each race, and then this was my regional race, and this would determine if I'd go to semi-state, because that was my whole goal. It was break 17 minutes, get to semi-state. And my dad made a spreadsheet of all the guys that were ahead of me that I needed to beat. And he's like, if you see this color, and this color, you need to pass them. And I remember just I had a checklist, and I was passing every single guy. And at the end, I was kind of losing it, because it was the end of the race, got 600 to go, and we're at Oxbow, so it's like that 400 meter straight at the end. So I'm about to turn the corner into that, and I see a St. Joe guy pass me. And I remember something clicked in my head. I was like, oh, that's my last guy. I need to go. And I passed him, and I passed a couple other guys too, and I just felt so good about it. I don't think my time was that great, but yeah, I raced really well that race, and
Right.
I got to semi-state, so yeah, I was pretty happy with it.
Yeah, of course.
But it was just more like the preparation that went into it, the visualization the day before, and just going out and doing it and feeling very happy with what I did. So.
That sounds like a good race.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. You want me to do my honorable mention, or you want to do your race?
I'll do my race.
Okay.
I would say my race. It's really, really extremely unexpected. It's a 4x4.
Okay.
It was at Trine my junior year. Junior year, an indoor Trine meet.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Trine? No, Indiana Wesleyan. I think it might have been, it wasn't conference, but it was some random Indiana Wesleyan race.
Mm-hmm.
And that day I had done the 800, the 1K, and the mile, I believe. And at the, you know how it goes. The distance runner usually ends up being a 4x4.
For sure.
I love the 4x4. I will always do a 4x4.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it just so happened this day, the anchor, he was sick or something, or he wasn't gonna be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who gets picked? Me.
Sir.
So I'm like, oh yeah, let's go. I didn't expect the energy to be there as it was. So because it's the end of the day, everybody wants to go home. Everybody done with their event. Everybody's standing around.
Yeah.
My PR before this in the 400 was probably like a 56 or something like that.
Yeah.
Nothing.
That's what mine is right now.
Well, so very all right.
Yeah.
I go out there. I start. I see first team I go by. Like he's in a good spot. Second team that goes by, good spot. Third team that goes by, he's ripping. He passes people. I'm like, oh, I cannot choke. I have to show up for this. I get the baton. I'm running. Everyone's screaming. The whole place is electric. I love it. I'm running scared. I'm like, I cannot lose any spots.
Yeah.
I can't. If I can't catch anybody, I will at least stay in the place that I am.
Yeah.
But the energy was so fun, and I had so much fun doing that one. I'll never forget it.
That's so cool.
Your honorable mention.
Yeah, honorable mention was Great Lakes this year. I ran my PR 27:24 in the 8K.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember starting, like I said earlier, starting in the way back, looking behind me, absolutely no one but green grass. But I remember I got cracked into I was already 10, but I got number 9 on that, and I just felt so good. That was the first race in months, maybe even years, that I finished, and I smiled, and I was so happy at the end of that. But, yeah, it was probably just an endorphin rush or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But
You're right.
yeah,
I know the Great Lakes course, and I never liked that race.
you never liked
I never
that one?
liked it. I rarely ran. I ran all right at that race. But
This year was different because my teammates were that ran it last year said it was all muddy and it was cold. But
That's why I don't like
yeah, but this year it was like, I don't know, 45 degrees at start time. And I remember just going up to the start line and just like closing my eyes first and just taking a deep breath into the crisp air and then opening my eyes with all the fall colors. And it's like, wow, this is amazing.
Right.
But yeah.
I just thought of an honorable mention for me.
Oh yeah.
It's where I set my 8K PR of 25:15 at Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh, okay.
My junior year as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a little superstitious about my races, and in my head I can only have like this amount of fun and laughing before I lock in.
Okay.
So if I use it all up early, then I gotta lock in a little early. If I scatter it around, I can have a little more fun later on. Well, this day I'd done the perfect amount of have fun. I had done the perfect amount of lock in.
Yeah.
Because during the warm up, I was telling them, because I'd done the course a few times before. I told them like when you're running on the gravel spots, that's like, you know, in like Mario Kart, there's like the speed boost.
Oh yeah.
Running on the gravel, that's the speed boost.
Yeah. For
so
sure.
I kind of like ingrained that in. So once the warm up was done and we started, and now I locked in.
Yep.
I was able to like kind of had that kind of ringing in my ear. Gravel, speed boost, gravel, speed boost. During the race, whenever we hit the gravel, I would just start ripping it. I would say, I don't care what pace I'm going, rip it.
That's awesome.
Then I came through the 5K at like 15:08. I was like, I'd never run that before. My PR was like 16 some. Until then, I was like,
wow.
what?
Yo.
And I was like, I can't. I'm still feel good. Let me keep going. And yeah, I finished the race and ran really well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
So anything else to add?
We're coming back season 2, starting January when we get back. I'm pretty excited for it. We got hopefully some good plans, and yeah, I'm stoked. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, very cool. I have a few notes, if I may.
Yeah, for sure. Plug Team Vibe all you want.
Yeah, Team Vibe. I'm gonna plug you guys a little bit. We're working on getting our a merch line coming up sometime early next year. So stay tuned for that. We're also talking about starting a run club based out of Goshen. Also stay tuned for that. All levels welcome. It'll be fun. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
But thank you for watching this unorthodox Maple Mile podcast. I might not see you guys later, but Jesse will see you guys later.
I better see you guys later. But
And
yeah,
have a good one.
yep. Maple Mile's out.